Bonjour.
Oh,
Bonjour, everyone.
morning.
Jamie's already so exhausted that he's let out a big sigh.
I'm
Welcome
like
back to the highest energy podcast available.
I'm like a deflating balloon. I was
Mm.
doing so well, and then I eke out a little bit at a time.
When were you doing
Maybe
well?
that's a good. I had a spell, I think, when I was about 18, where
You were
I
thriving.
I nailed it. Yeah, 2012, ladies and gentlemen. If you look back in the history books, that was my year, and that was where it peaked. There was the summer. The Olympics were in London.
What
The
did you
sun was
do? What
shining.
did you do during that summer when you were 18?
During the summer, so obviously I had my 18th birthday. I was like in March, which I think is a good time. Springtime.
Yeah.
Like lambs were led outside, and so was I.
What, in Croydon?
Yeah, into the fields. I mean, have you been to Croydon?
I've been through Croydon. I haven't felt the need to stop.
You could have missed out on my golden years if you continued on. But it's did that went to Kavos, the Greek island, the Greek party
met
island.
Skepta.
I famously met Skepta there. Yeah, it was a moment in his life where I think he wasn't. I think he was. In a bit of a...
That was the dip, wasn't it? That was
yeah. The dip was meeting me. I think that was the moment where he went.
Your high point collided with his lowest point.
Yeah, and it forced Skepta to bounce back and come back bigger than ever. And it just sent me, and my life has never peaked really since.
Maybe Skepta, stole your peak. You met
took
him,
my mojo,
and then he got a second wind, and you never got your first wind.
I'm still trying to find my wind. Well, some people say I'm full of wind, but that's another story for another time when the kids aren't listening.
While you're looking for your wind, do you ever come across anything else that might be useful for the show, Jamie? In Kavos, anything?
Well, weirdly enough, actually, I remember I was on the seafront, and I've kept this in this other room the whole time.
A memento,
a memento that's been there for nearly 8 years now. Let me just hold on. Let me just get it. 2 seconds. Hold on. All right, hold on. I think I've got it. Hold on. It's you won't believe it, Jake. It's the Dork mailbag.
Oh, no way!
Wow. That's where it's in.
Well,
it was
blow
in
Kavos. Blow off the dust, and I'll have a rifle around and see what we got. The acting is really top notch this week.
We're like the Archers, Radio 4, we shit them. We shit them. Jake, what have we had? Has anyone asked us anything this week?
They have, yeah. We've had a suspiciously regular amount of letters of 2 this week, much like many of the other weeks.
We could never quite get to 3 again, can we?
No.
We had like that
one
at the
day.
start.
One day.
That's when we were shiny and new. And look at us now.
Yeah, when the interest was still there.
We get sold for scraps.
The thing is, we're getting less and less listeners each week. I think we're down to about 100,000 now, aren't we? And we started at a couple of million. So
a couple of million first episode.
And then just steadily downhill. But one of the people that is still listening is Keith from Liverpool. And Keith from Liverpool. Why are you just laughing at this man's name? He's got a perfectly regular name.
I want to know how old is Keith. I want to know what Keith
He hasn't supplied his age, but I'm going to assume he's in his mid-40s.
Keith, let us know what you're doing.
Go on, send it in.
I can't imagine someone in their 20s being called Keith, but...
Why are you assuming they're in their 20s? Like, we've got a diverse listener base.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. In my head, I just thought, if he's writing in, it's clearly got some chutzpah, left work to write this letter.
Right.
Good on you.
You reckon? Well, Keith, anyway.
Yeah.
Has Keith... I'm just going to keep saying Keith and see if you explode. Keith, from Liverpool, that's Keith, with a K. He says...
What's his full name? Is it Keith? Is Keith the full name, or is Keith like a shortened version of a name?
I believe it's short for Keith you.
Keithan, yeah. Keith Andrew.
Keith Yule.
Keith Sequel.
Yeah, that's the one.
Right.
So Keith Sequel from Liverpool says,
yeah.
He says, "You seem like nice lads. I'll cook you dinner next time you're in town."
Oh, that's just actually quite a nice offer.
Yeah, and you were very mean to Keith Sequel for a second.
That offer will be rescinded now, or it's just you going
I'll
up,
be
Jake.
allowed round. I'll be allowed round. Lovely stuff. I'll get 2 meals.
I'll get 2 meals, double up.
I assume you'd already cooked the meals, so I'll get your one, you know.
I'll bring it back with some tin foil over the top. Yeah. Just on the train back down from Liverpool. Well, that's a very nice offer, to be fair. If anyone does actually want to cook us dinner,
or Keith does.
Well, I'm just saying we can get multiple dinners out of this.
Oh,
you know, that's the real success.
Oh, I thought Keith would just make us dinner every day.
Maybe if we keep going back to Liverpool every day? Yeah. I mean, it's a lovely city.
We could be back in Liverpool and everything would feel the same.
Famous Liverpool exports, the wombats. Good on them. That's a nice offer, Keith. Yeah, we'd love to come up and love to have some food. Let us know what you're cooking.
Probably not now during the pandemic. We'll probably wait till afterwards. Don't want to kill Keith with our desire for a roast dinner.
We don't want to knock him off. Leave him be.
No.
Leave him be. Thank you, Keith. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So the second letter in the mailbag, the second and final letter in this 8-year-old mailbag from Kavos that for some reason knew that the podcast would happen, is from Stephanie from Brighton. And they say, which act would you go up against in a chart battle if you could choose one? Jamie, thoughts?
It's become the thing, hasn't it? If you'd told me that 2020 would be chart battle year, I would have laughed in your face.
I don't think that's what 2020 is going to be remembered for, to be honest.
Oh, what? You say something else that's happened in that?
I think there might have been. I can't really recall.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows? Who would I go up against in a chart battle? I feel like I have to take on, you know, in the nicest way, someone older than me. Because I athletically am not my age, if you know what I mean. I think my flexibility is the flexibility of like a 50-year-old, and so therefore
at least
I need at least maybe even older. So I've got to go with someone older at least, so I've got a fighting chance in this chart battle, and I've got the energy to power through. I reckon I would enjoy going into a chart battle with Rod Stewart, because I reckon. I reckon, you know, he's you know, a legend. Tunes, you know, if you want my body, you know that song. That was a good song.
I do, yeah. I know. It sounds just like that. Yep.
It sounds exactly like that. But I think, you know, I could take him now. But I also think he would enjoy the fight. You know, he'd respect me afterwards. He'd buy me dinner, like Keith.
Jamie, just quickly, what do you think a chart battle entails?
Well, have you ever seen the movie Anchorman? And there is a moment in Anchorman where the news stations all meet up in what looks like a car park, a parking lot, I think, as they refer to it in America. American listeners, do correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to offend. And then they obviously fight, you know, some of them to the death. That's what I thought it entails. But obviously they'll get like viewers, like on the TV shows, whereas the acts will get, you know, streams. So yeah, I'd say I would fight Rod Stewart in a physical chart battle. That's my aim.
Lot to unpack there. I don't even think I'm going to bother, to be honest. I'll just let it lie.
Jake, who would you go up against? I feel like I know. I mean, we've talked about many of your nemesis on this radio show.
Yeah. I think.
Which one are we going for?
I think it would be most enjoyable to crush Sports Team for a second time. Out of them two, they're like, this one's nailed on, and then I'll just swan in. Jake Hawkes plays your favourite hits on the jazz flutes, and I'll be there. Instrumental covers of classics on the flute. Might even do a Sports Team song, and I'll beat them by a really embarrassing amount as well. Like they'll keep saying it's close, and it'll turn out I win by like 4,000, maybe at least. And I just never even acknowledge them. You know, I never acknowledge they exist. We do Soccer AM together, but I don't even acknowledge that they're there.
They're not there.
And then we both get involved in making something, and I do it much better than they do as well. To really hammer the nail in, you know,
it's one like they want to go out for something to eat at a restaurant. They get there, they're like, "Oh, sorry, we've just given away the last table. Oh, who did you give it to?" And it's you, Jake. You're there, just on a table for six.
The table for six is just me sitting there, like, "Oh, sorry, guys." And they're like, "But there's a table for two over there. Can't he sit there?" And they're like, "Oh no, he needs that table for six for all of his chart trophies."
He booked the table for six, so he's going to sit on the table for six. God, so that's quite a lot of psychological warfare going on there. For me, it was like whether I could physically fight Rod Stewart.
I think that's the difference between you and me, Jamie. You know, you underestimate the power of the mind, whereas I know what separates man from beast, and it's the psychological.
I think somewhere in there you may have called me a beast, but it's not the worst thing you've called me.
Look, all I'm saying is you might beat Rod Stewart in your chart battle, but you couldn't even beat a normal-sized dog. Whereas I could beat all animals in my chart battle. All of them.
Wonderful.
Except like that gorilla that can play the drums.
Yeah, he's huge. What about gorillas? Obviously, you can take them.
No, don't even get me started on them.
Thank you. Is it Stephanie from Brighton?
It was Stephanie. I'm surprised you remembered. Well done.
I remember.
Maybe there's more going on up there than I gave you credit for.
I wouldn't go that far. Also, while we're here in the mailbag, I just want to say, obviously, we saw it kind of like all going on. We saw on socials. There was a bit of back and forth after our last episode with Kieran from Circle Waves.
Of course, yes.
There was a discussion around the socks in the freezer, which was first proposed by Seagulls. One of Seagulls, because
who we still don't know,
members
do we?
of Seagulls,
the rest didn't have a clue what was happening. So
no one's come forward. So we're alarmed at that. Obviously, Kieran was outspoken in interviews that it was one of the most ridiculous things he's ever heard.
I think he called it obscene, didn't he? I think that was his wording. Obscene was one of the words he used.
Patrick, can we roll back what he just said here? This is like the power of technology. We can actually go back and listen to exactly what he said.
Yeah, here's one we made earlier, kind of vibes.
Yeah. I've got another one here for you. So this one is it's a contentious one. It's putting socks in the freezer when it's too warm out. Does the idea of that make you sad or happy?
Putting socks in the freezer.
Yeah. So putting socks in a freezer to when it's too hot out and you need some cold feet.
So yeah, to clarify, you then put the cold socks on, I think is what Jamie's getting at.
Yes.
The act of putting the socks in the freezer isn't the end of the whole thing.
It's what
that is obscene. Surely no one's ever done that. People done that. That's not a thing.
And there it is. Like, so that's what's caused the issue here. And Seagulls were just a bit, they were hurt by that. At one point, I think they threatened a crab with a knife.
They did. That was quite a lot, wasn't it? I didn't like that. Fighting words.
It jumped very quickly, if you will. Giffing all over the world. Stop giffing on me.
That's not a thing. That sounds worse than you intend, Jamie.
So let's gif on this way to some music news, shall we, Jake?
Let's. Anything to move on from you using the word gif as a verb.
Well, giffing interview. No. We'll click. Come on.
No. Jamie, big news. Last week.
Yes.
Last week, remember it? It happened, right? I made a joke at the expense of the band Shame saying we had a new song, and we didn't. And actually, what's happened is they've obviously listened in. They haven't contacted me, but they've obviously listened in, as everyone does. And they've gone, of course, we've been made a laughing stock, Like, we need to get something together quickly. So what they've done is they've released...
breaking point.
Yeah, this was it. After all of the people putting pressure on them, they didn't care about them. The fans, they're dirt to them, But us, we matter. To them, the fans matter to us. But, to Shame...
Yeah, a lot.
Maybe not. If you disagree, Shame, feel free to come on the radio show. Always welcome.
And tell us.
Yep. I don't think they're going to come on, to be honest. I think I've probably been too mean there, haven't I?
But they've returned. You've done it again.
They've released a song. Yes. It's a good song. And they've announced a homecoming show next year, which is at Electric Brixton, I believe. So that'll be good fun.
They're back.
And there's also an album that will be coming out, I've heard, presumably, that is the plan.
You'd hope so. Hope so. So they're actually, they sorted themselves out, and they came back, didn't they?
Sorted themselves
they weren't messing about. Not messing around at all. Pulled it together, and this song's great. It's called Alphabet, isn't it?
It
after
is,
the famous spaghetti.
Of course,
Mr. Alphabetti's.
I thought it was named after Alphabeat. The band.
Maybe.
Could be both.
Tribute acts.
Doesn't sound like either.
It doesn't, but it's a good song, and it's good to have them back, and it's kind of got me kind of hyped for it a little bit. I'm like, okay, here we go. Shame coming back. Let's see what comes next.
So this is Alphabet by Shame.
You can really tell the Alphabet connection there.
You can, I think.
You can hear it throughout.
It's an indirect influence, but it's a strong one. I think that's the thing, isn't it?
That's the main thing. Wonderful stuff. Good to have them back. Great song. Lovely stuff. Well done, all. I shake hands. After I've cleaned them, obviously. Jake, I've got some as important news to delve into.
If not bigger, I would say.
If not bigger. Let's talk about Banksy.
Okay.
All
right.
It's highbrow. Is it you? Now. Come on.
You're Banksy.
Well, I know who it isn't because they've had to come out and deny that they are Banksy.
That sounds like something that Banksy would do, but okay.
Exactly. Let me talk to you about Neil Buchanan, who,
of course,
for those who aren't, don't immediately know the name, he used to be the host of a TV show called Art Attack that was on British TV. What like late 90s, early 2000s? I think that's about.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably about right. Yeah.
Yeah, it lasted for a very long time, and
and it's lasted in our hearts ever since.
100%, and he's had to come out and deny basically that he is Banksy.
Which again is just something that Banksy would do, so I don't believe him.
Yeah, I'm concerned by that. I guess their idea is that he is in the art world. He is obviously, quite outspoken in his political views by the looks of it.
When he's not busy, an art attack, Literally, that could mean so many things. This is an art attack. It doesn't leave any room for subjectivity. It's a very strident political statement, I feel. I think every time
100%.
Every time you transform household materials into something greater and you stamp it and say this is an art attack, the violence of the attack is kind of belied by the artistic nature of what was a household object.
Right. If you would say one musician is actually Banksy, who would you put your money on it being?
Neil Buchanan. He's in a band as well, so there you go.
Famously, what? If it's clearly not him, he said no. We've got to take him on his word.
It's him.
He paints.
I don't believe
he wouldn't
him.
lie. He paints. He wouldn't lie like that.
Okay.
He's all right. Also, have you ever seen Art Attack where they fucking do the big like, oh, I'm gonna make this huge like picture made out of like coloured pasta shells or something, right? Yeah. And he fucking gives it all that and knocks around. Yeah, he's doing all that. There's no way that geezer is sneaking around in the middle of the night doing some intricate drawings.
I think, actually,
he would be fucking
fair,
like dropping ping pong balls down the street and everything.
Yeah,
like,
and also like, when he finished, he would just scream, "This is an Art Attack," and everyone would know he was there.
Yeah. so it would be very difficult for him to do that and still, have kept his identity undercover, if you will.
That's true. Okay. In which case, I think it is almost definitely both of the cheeky girls.
You heard it here first.
One of them holds the stencil and the other one spray paints.
I mean, have you ever seen cheeky girls not in a place that has just got a Banksy painting up?
Exactly. What about you, Jamie? You felt like you were leading towards something there. You got a...
Do I have a conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it could be, for example, we haven't heard from Paolo Nutini in a while.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? Whenever I've seen his hands look like they could be painter's hands. So I reckon that he could be the one, Also, he's quite mysterious, He's a mumbler, isn't he? He's a mumbler. So I reckon he could just be like walking around.
Shoes, doesn't he? How's he affording them?
All the time. Just, I don't know. I guess if we had one last request, it would be, Paolo,
Jesus
Christ. You Banksy? We'll never know.
We'll never know. Physically.
Sorry.
So I've got some news. I got some news, Jamie. I've got some news. It's hot off the press.
Whoa.
Oh, we're gonna. Oh, all right. Sorry. I forgot we were gonna play the greatest song ever written. Yeah.
Let me just click play on this song, and we'll be back there. Just imagine it. This is. I'm just gonna read this. The Art Attack theme tune. Very quick song.
Yeah, not very long.
Very quick song.
Good though. Enjoyable. Nostalgic.
Jake, before I ripped you away from the gaping size of news coming towards you, what news is about?
I've had a bad one actually. I've just found out. Obviously, we record this on a Friday, and it goes out on a Monday. So this is old news by now for you at home. But we're just hearing it.
This is old.
Declan McKenna has not got a number one album. It's breaking news. Can we have a breaking news klaxon? Something, I don't know, I more meant like a sound effects, not from you. I more meant like a, sort. Oh God.
No.
Sorry, can I have another co-host? This one's broken.
Please,
yes, the Rolling Stones have gone to number one with a reissue of an album I don't even give a shit about called Goat's Head Soup. Has that got any of the bangers on it? I didn't even check.
I doubt it. Surely not. I mean
they've got bangers, but they're old bangers, aren't they? Like, let's have a look. Goat's Head Soup.
Yeah, what's the album saying?
It's got a song on it called Do 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 Do.
That's pathetic. Yeah. It's amazing what people got away
Jagger.
with. You bloody...
I tell you what, if any one of the Rolling Stones wants to come down here now, I will fight you in the street. And I will
Physical chart battle. Here we are. Physical chart battle.
Look, the indie bands aren't winning the proper chart battle, so, we'll have to start doing the physical ones. Because I reckon, Any one of the Rolling Stones I could take easy.
It's been a real losing run, hasn't it? It's been a real losing run for bands that we support.
This one's even worse, though. This one's even worse because it's just a reissue of an old album. Like, at least when it was like, Lady Gaga, all right, fine, Taylor Swift, fine. Those are good albums by good acts that have just been released. But like, fucking reissue of a 1973 album. If you bought that album, shame on you. If you bought Goat's Head Soup, like, fucking look at yourself in the mirror. Get a grip, all right?
Also, who's like, oh my God, I must buy this album now. Like, no, who's
just
there?
Wait a week for your reissue of Goat's Head Soup.
Also, if you don't have it already, you don't really care, do you? Like we say,
that's true.
It was just
like you've had you've had 47 years to buy this album, and you've decided to now. You're pathetic. You are.
It's
whoever
disgusting.
You are. I'm disgusted.
Right, we'll have a word. I'm disgusted with all of them. But that means that Declan obviously does not have a number one, which is sad. Which is a sad time. But hey, he got some great T-shirts out of it. Number 2, that's good. Was it number 2? He didn't fall any further than that, did he?
No, man, I haven't got to assume it's not. I haven't. I tell you what, I was so blown away by the news that I didn't even click on it. I just got sad.
Oh, it is number 2. It's number 2.
Oh, good. I was going to say, can we check?
That's his first top 10 album, so well done, mate.
Can we maybe wash the taste of this bitterness out of our mouth with a nice cleansing Declan McKenna song?
Yeah, what one would you like? I mean,
honestly can't even process this terrible news at this point in time, Jamie. You'll have to just put one on. I'm going to weep gently.
Don't worry, it's all going to be fine. I am going to put on The Key to Life on Earth, because the key is sometimes we lose.
I guess it's true, isn't it? What the Rolling Stones said. You can't always get a number one album in a chart battle with another band.
You can't, and that's the big issue. You just can't. But yeah, Declan number 2 album. It's a really great album. We also talked about it last week. If you want to hear us talk about it, you can go back and listen to it. We're not going to stop you. But also stay with us. That'd be very much appreciated. To be honest, Jake, we've got. I think we've got someone knocking at the door. Someone.
Oh yeah.
Who wants to come on in?
Slithering through the letterbox as we speak.
We have a special guest coming along. He's got an EP out this week. He's ready to bring the firecrackers and the fun. That's what I asked him to bring. You didn't want anything from the shops, did you? Or
no, I just wanted firecrackers and fun. So, good thing he's picked those up.
Perfect. Oscar Lang will be joining us after this. But first, let's have a listen to one of his songs, shall we? This one is Get Out. That right there was Oscar Lang with Get Out.
And this right here is also Oscar Lang.
Oscar Lang joins us now. Look at that. The power of technology. It connects us all together.
The internet.
How are we doing, Oscar? How are things with you?
I'm doing very swell. I'm a little bit apprehensive at the minute because my sister's just gone a bit ill.
Oh no!
Yeah, we submitted the test and we get the results back in 2 days. But for now, stuck inside.
So this
I
could
think
be
it'll be all right.
the last interview you do for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, this could be the
final best out of you.
I was about to, this makes it sound like next week we're going to give an update on like what happened, like which we're not going to do. But just like this is not how this works. I promise you, we are not some sort of testing
on the socials.
Yeah, please do.
Just a tweet and update. How was the past few months been for you? Because obviously you've been kind of like, looking forward, I guess, to the release of this new EP, which is out now. Lovely stuff. Hand over your head. How's it been? One.
It's been a weird one. I mean, at the start, it wasn't the worst thing in the world because I've always been like a bedroom artist. So as soon as they said like, "Oh, you got to stay in your bedroom for the next few months," I was like, "Okay, cool, like, I'd do that anyway." But I don't know. It's kind of hard because, especially with this EP, it was so live based, and we were so looking forward to playing it live. And now we just don't know when anyone's going to play live. So it's sad, but also it's not the worst thing in the world because I've also written so much music and continue to record all this time. So I've caught up and I'm ahead on a lot of the music right now.
Yeah, no one's chasing you for music now. You're like, I'm going to be honest. It's all I've been doing.
We're throwing it at them at the minute, to be honest. No one's chasing me for nothing.
So please stay away. No, right. But that's it. You've just been plugging inside and just making songs after song after song, I guess. I guess you just you kind of have to, then you really. It's like us really. Me and Jake have just been sat here talking to each other every single week. In a similar vein.
Like a care in the community thing. They pay me to keep Jamie company for an hour or two.
It is very much that.
Make sure he's all right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, otherwise it would just descend, and I would be. I'd be all over. I mean. Yeah, I mean, some would say I'm already all over the place.
Than you are now.
Ticked off, God. I guess obviously with the new EP, does it feel like for you, it feel like obviously from what you've done before, can you see the change, like the big change in kind of like music? You said it's kind of a bit more live bass, like live focused, if you will. Yeah,
I think for me, I always wanted to get to this place. For ages, we've been playing songs like Drinking Wine and I Feel Good on the EP. We've literally been playing since the first gigs we ever played live. And every time we would play live, we wouldn't play any of the softer, sort of more bedroom stuff because it didn't suit it. And I wanted to have fun on stage. Yeah. So I've always been trying to work the music up to this point. And my last EP, Overthunk, was trying to sort of transition in between the two, sort of going from bedroom pop to more band focused sound. So that was a little transition EP, and now I'm there. And I still want to keep it evolving though. I still want to keep the sound fresh. I think I want to incorporate some of my old sort of styles and just keep it moving along.
Play around. Also, that means you're now going to have, you're going to have the Lockdown album because that's the next thing. Obviously we saw Taylor Swift.
I mean, that was one of the things when I wrote Get Out. I wrote Get Out in January, and then so I sat there no, I'm going to release this song called Get Out, and then the government tells us to fucking get inside.
The government said absolutely not.
I was annoyed because everyone's going to think this is some sort of lockdown song now, but at least everyone can relate to it now.
Yeah. You're actually, predicting the future, if anything. And the government were let's give it a go. Come on in. Dive on into that.
So they thought they'd recommend it.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. And I guess, what else have you been up to in lockdown? You've obviously been writing a lot of music, but have you got any new hobbies? What kind of hobbies are you looking at? I, for example, have really, some would say I was already into this, but having just, a cheeky drink on a Tuesday. I quite enjoy the frolic of that.
Jamie.
I'm not sure you can count that as a hobby. That's midweek drinking.
Yeah, I'm a hobbyist. I like to drink on a Tuesday. Some people play golf. Some people do painting, but I drink on a Tuesday.
It's an experience. That's an experience. And what about you? Have you discovered anything? You're like, actually, I gave this a little bit of a go.
There's been different phases of lockdown. Really, it's changed so much. Initially, when we went into lockdown, I made a really weird impulse buy. It was my birthday, and it was a bit of a shit birthday because obviously I couldn't see anyone.
Yeah.
So I just impulse buy and I bought a mini go-kart. And it's this thing that drifts around the kitchen.
Aren't go-karts already small? How mini is the mini one?
Well, yeah, no, it's like a tiny one, but it looks bizarre when I'm on it because I'm 6'2" and about 15 and a half stone. So it looks bizarre. I'm doing 360s around the center of my kitchen, but that was fun, and I had that for a little bit. But recently, I've been getting into sort of virtual reality and escaping into a different world in virtual reality. I'm a bit of a nerd, so yeah,
you're going there. I love the jump between it was mini go-kart and then I guess we'll just try virtual reality now after that.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit of a child at heart, so like it's all sort of those sort of thing.
All good with that. I mean, I need to delve a little bit more into this go-kart. Is this something that means, for example, after this you could maybe drive it out and about, or are you like it can't leave the house?
So at first, I think electric vehicles are like actually not allowed on public roads. That's why like you can't use swagways and stuff. So I took it out just to experience the full power of the car. I took it out
the wind in your hair,
paced it down the road. Yeah, the postman was like fucking having a giggle when he saw me ride by like 15 miles an hour going down the pavement. But yeah, it's actually a bit messed up in a minute because I left it out in the rain, so it sort of had a brief life. I'm not sure I'm going to revive it. But yeah, you should find it. It's called the Crazy Kart, and it's got this sick drifting thing you lift up and you can just go for days.
This is brand sponsorship right here, everyone. If anyone wants to give us some money,
I wish they sponsored me, man, because there's a pro version. I've been looking at that.
I love the nicheness of you're like if you had my first sponsor is just this go-kart company.
Just my go-kart.
Hey,
I gotta say, I'm looking this up and it does look fucking good. I could go for one of these.
It's really, really sick. And it's also just it gets in the tight spaces.
Max rider weight, 63 kilos. I think I'd just break it. I'm pretty sure I'm over 60 kilos.
I'm about 40 kilos over that, and it seems all right. I mean, actually, it is broken. That's literally what I was saying.
But it worked for a bit.
It worked for a bit.
Exactly. Well, that's interesting though. Like maybe that's the future. Let's just all dive in and just buy all this stuff.
The future of what? What the future?
Everyone running around in a tiny little go-kart.
Yeah.
Life, the universe.
I love that's what someone pictured in the 1980s. Like, what's 2020 going to be like? Everyone's just ripping 360s on a go-kart.
in the midst of a global pandemic.
In a pandemic.
Perfect. God, I mean, virtual reality stuff's a bit mad though. Like, Jake, did you see that? You must have been on that Travis Scott Fortnite thing, which looked absolutely
I don't have any VR equipment, so I saw because you could watch it in VR or you could watch it on like YouTube. So I had it as like a just the YouTube thing. But yeah, I used to have the Google Cardboard, which is just like the thing that you can slot your phone into. For like rudimentary VR, but that broke. But yeah, like all the Oculus Rift and that is really expensive, and also like I live in London. You think I've got the fucking space to like if I put VR goggles on, I'd be smashing stuff all over the shop.
See, that's the thing. Like that's why I recently bought like a little Oculus headset, and it's like completely self-contained within the unit, and you don't need a camera and stuff, so you can literally just do it anywhere. Which is why I bought it because I was like, yeah, that's the thing about VR that's annoying. So you have to have
I'm just kind of waiting for it to get like. At the moment, it's still like a bit.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it to get like a bit cheaper, a bit easier, and then I'm sure I'll be wandering around, bumping into things.
He's leaving the time. He's like, actually, I'm just going to see when it suddenly emerges that I can get discounts, and I will be in on that.
You are clearly not a man who is into video games because the second a new console comes out, you're like, I'll wait 6 months, not paying full price. You wait 6 months. That's the thrifty way.
That's it. I mean, I still whack out. I've still got a GameCube over here, so let's just see what happens.
I respect that. I respect all the old consoles. Like, I'm about that. I find it hard to get quite involved in like new games. I find it hard to sit down for hours and play them anymore. I used to be able to do that, but I just don't have the attention span for anymore. I got the go-kart waiting for me, and then I hop on something else.
You're like, run, you're like the corner, like, I could just
I got my VR headset on my go-kart doing both at once.
People just waving you down, like trying to like pull you over the side, being like, "This is the most dangerous thing in the world. Pull him out, pull him out." Oh god! But plenty of time to do that. It's been having all the fun, all the games. I think what we should do though is we should have listen to one of your songs because you've got to sell the songs. We've got go on. We've got to sell the brand. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a listen to Apple Juice, which obviously came out right like a few months ago now. Like that must have been that was kind of like the start, wasn't it, for like the new EP?
Yeah, filming the video for that gave me a bit of anxiety because I was so. Like initially, I had this big music video planned in my head, and we were going to do a big shoot, and then obviously lockdown happened, and I knew I had to film this video, and I was just so anxious the whole time, like, oh shit, I got to film a video, I got to do it all myself, it's going to be so intense, like I don't know how to do it. And then as soon as it's done, I was like, oh, the biggest weight off my shoulders. But yeah, I love that video, and I love the song.
Lovely. We can't provide the video because we are an audio entity, but you can picture it in your head. Or here's one. Just go on YouTube now. Like we'll wait. Just put the video on. Like and obviously mute it, and we'll just play the song. So you've had time to do that. Wonderful stuff. And this is Apple Juice. People actually did that,
no one.
Listen, try and time it perfectly so the podcast links up with the video on YouTube.
Please.
I think if anything, you'd be like, well, I'm on YouTube now. This is better anyway. I'll just turn the podcast off.
Really sold it. Oh Lord, atrocious. Oh God. But yes, Apple Juice. Well, a lovely one. Oscar, a quick one.
Thank you.
Do you know that Robbie Williams has 27 toilets
in
his house?
Christ, this again.
What?
27 toilets Robbie Williams has in his house. 27. How do you feel about that? Room.
Why am I getting confused? Robbie Williams, the guy out to Take That, right? For some reason, yes. I'm thinking of. Is it Robin Williams?
Very different person. Very different circumstances.
I was a bit confused. But that's mental. Why does he have 27 toilets?
That's the question that I think we're all trying to slowly learn.
I think it's just you, Jamie. You bring this up a lot. You're quite obsessed, I'd say.
There's two train of thoughts though. It's like he either has one big kind of like toilet facility in his house, which has the 27 toilets in. Yeah, toilet room, if you will. Or he has
like a little shrine to all the different toilets. I kind of like that.
Yeah,
like different seat heights, different comforts, you know.
Yeah.
What were you in the mood for that day?
You got the Japanese ones.
Yeah, see, Oscar's on my side, Jamie, you bastard.
I know, I'm a toilet connoisseur, man. I know all about it.
Sorry, I wasn't up to scratch.
Jamie's going, he's got 27 toilets, and Oscar's going, he's only got 27 toilets.
Yeah, if he wants to embrace the whole entire toilet community, he really needs to up his game. Lord advice. Talking of toilets, we have once again, we've come up with another fun game. Some people say it's fun. Some people say it's something. And this week, we've really delved into our psyche and pulled out an intelligent, in-depth, invigorating game. It's called Oscar Lang's Oscars.
So inventive, There
we go.
Each guest that comes on, these get more and more desperate. Trying to think of anything related to their name.
We're trying.
The amount of times I got that in primary school, the Oscars relation.
I'm really glad we've got the intelligence of 6 or 7 year old children.
Actually, funny enough, I made a YouTube account and I called it I was meant to call it I Got an Oscar, but obviously because I was 8, I didn't know how to pronounce things properly, so it's just called I Got an Oscar.
Oh.
Didn't know the proper vocabulary.
Is that still
if you need a name for the...
No, don't find it, please.
After this gets recorded, it's going to be the quickest run to YouTube.
See if we can find it before he deactivates.
Yeah. Just go now. Oh Lord. I mean, the premise is simple here. We're going to announce, 3 different nominees, if you will, and basically you just pick out of them which one is the best, and therefore gets the Oscar. It's a real.
I can't find the account on YouTube, just to say. You're safe.
Well, it's now called The Far. I ended up because I already had like 100 subscribers when I first started posting music. I privated all the old videos and started posting on there, so at least I had a little bit of a fan base. So I wonder if there's any fans of the 8-year-old and they're like, "Oh, what? He's releasing music now."
Oh yeah, I hate when these YouTube accounts change their focus.
Yeah. If only they stuck to what they were doing before. This music,
shitty YouTube covers when I was 8.
Just ripping into you. Just like, I know he's only 8 years old, but come on, play the game. So, the Oscars. Let us begin. So basically, we're looking for, what's your favourite out of these? So say 3 different ones, many different subjects. We'll start quite a simple one. We've got orange juice, lemon juice, or tomato juice. Which one for you?
Of course, you're not going to whip apple juice in there, of course.
Well, you can't get an unfair advantage, You've got to have a balance.
But see, the thing is, though, does lemon juice include lemonade? Because I'd argue that lemonade is higher than orange juice.
I don't think it does.
Okay, let's go orange juice then.
Orange juice is the one. You're not a fan of tomato juice?
No, not at all. Can't do it. I hate raw tomatoes, so yeah, can't do tomato juice.
So even worse.
Yeah, it's just pure horrible.
So would you rather drink a glass of lemon juice straight or a glass of tomato juice?
Oh, I'd actually rather drink a glass of lemon juice. I really like lemons, but I think it's just intense, but I'd be able to hack it. I think the acid reflux is what would get me, though. After that, they'd be lethal.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good, would it?
No. It'd be a huge mess. There you go.
You want to clean up the huge mess. The nominees for the next category are baths, showers, or washing yourself with a flannel in the toilet.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the flannel, probably. I'm kidding. I'd say it's hard to say because I think I do enjoy a bath, but I tend to feel kind of panicked when I get in a bath because I think it's because you're getting in warm water, you kind of need to piss, like because they say that thing like when you put your fingers in warm water, like you need to piss. So then I start to feel panicked because I'm like, I don't want to piss because then I'd just be sitting in a bath with my own piss.
So you have to run 2 baths. You're on the first bath, and then you have to I have to go a whole new one now. Yeah.
No, new one. Next one, please.
I'm going to say I'll give showers the win there. They're quick, but they can be relaxing. So I'm giving them all.
Yeah, that's true.
Whoa, sorry, hold on. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
My iTunes just exploded. I don't really know what happened. Just suddenly started playing a track and just blasted my ears off.
I love the view. So the go-kart, the VR. It sounds like you live at a fairground. Like, what is happening here? Like, the music's just come on.
Chaotic.
They've opened the stalls out. Oh Lord! So yeah, to avoid sitting in your own piss, showers is the winner. Fair reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Got another one. This one's just a little bit, see how you feel. We're talking dogs, cats, or hamsters. Dogs, cats, or hamsters.
Cats. Hands
Not
down.
even a question. Not even a question.
No, I appreciate a dog. I don't. Hamsters can fuck off. Like I don't give a shit about hamsters. But I appreciate. I appreciate dogs, man. Every time I've met someone with a hamster, they always take them out, and I'm always like, "Oh, they're so little sweet," and then they put them on my hand, and they bite the shit out of me. I can't be arsed with them anymore.
That is true. They are.
I've tried to love
boys.
Hamsters, and they've not given me anything back, so I can't be arsed
you
with
gave
them
him a
anymore.
chance, didn't you? You gave him a chance.
Yeah.
I
appreciate dogs, but I think just the walking aspect is annoying. I quite like the cats. They give you love when you want it, and then they just do their own thing, and I respect that.
They'll also go away. Exactly. They've got other things to do as well. They're not, tied down.
Yeah, that's the thing with dogs. I'm sort of like, get a life. Like, why do I have to provide everything for you?
Yeah.
Get some
friends. Get and start drinking on a Tuesday.
Yeah, come on, for God's sake. Give me one afternoon off, for God's sake. Like, Jesus.
Pick up a hobby, for the love of God. It's above. It's a clear winner. Clear winner for cats.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, nominees for this one. This is a big category, actually. Do you? Who wins the Oscar? Fingers, thumbs, or toes?
Ooh.
Tricky.
I think it's got to be a thumb, surely. There's nothing better than a thumb.
Famously, yeah. As the old saying goes.
As the old saying goes, yeah. I think, thumbs are just crucial. You wouldn't be able to do shit without them, so it's going to have to be a thumb. Hands. Yeah. I don't think toes, they're not needed. Nobody really needs them.
Horses don't have toes, and they're fine.
Well, it doesn't. If you lose a toe, if you lose a toe, you lose your balance, doesn't it?
Yeah, so this is what I mean. So horses don't have that problem. They've just got one big toenail, no toes.
I respect that.
Golden.
So what? We should all be have like fucking like calves and like shoot.
I think
instead
of a foot, instead of a foot, you should just have one huge toe with a big nail on the end of it.
Human evolution.
The image of that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like sort of Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc., but in toe form.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's a little bit of that, isn't it? Just knocking around. Oh, a very clear winner for fun there, and I get that. I get that. They are like they're the big ones, aren't they? They're the big guys.
I'm moving mine around now, and I got to say this is pretty great.
Yeah. Compared with the others, I will say the fun is a pure winner. Got another one here. Sitting, standing, or lying down. Which one would you say is the best out of those three options?
Oh, it's not going to be standing, is it? Because who the hell likes standing in one place for too long? It's I don't know, because I'm a fan of lying in bed and like watching YouTube in the morning, but I think I'm gonna go with lying just because of all the years you spend in school sitting down. Like I'm done with sitting at that point.
Yeah, you kind of covered it, haven't you? And also it brings up the memories of just sitting in school. You know what I mean? You've done sitting, you've completed sitting. You
spend half your life lying down, so like, yeah. I think that's the one.
I think lying down is like almost always a positive thing, isn't it? Like sitting, you can be sitting in a shit place. Like you say, if you're at school, you're having a negative sit then, aren't you? But lying down, very rarely
that's a negative sit.
Yeah. Whereas if you're lying down, like, you know what I mean, that's always a relaxing moment. It's mostly
always good. And also, like, it's always the fixer, if you're out on a night out and it all gets too much, lie down and it sorts you out. So
what, in the pub?
I've done lied down across the little bench.
The little bench. Sometimes you just need to lie down, Jake. That's all you need.
That's true. Who am I to forbid you from lying down in the pub?
How dare you?
Up under the table.
How dare you call it out? People may look at you funny, but also they're not lying down. So who's the real winner?
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. They're sitting. What's that all about?
Like losers.
Yeah, they're sad sitting. They're
sad sitting, right. Not happy sitting. God.
No. Okay, next one. The moon, the sun, or Jupiter?
I don't know why you've thrown Jupiter in there. It's not needed, really. It's irrelevant.
That's the wild
irrelevant.
Card. That's the wild card.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. Well, because then you could have just thrown in any of the other planets. It's just irrelevant.
But it's three. So, we're doing Jupiter, threes, Oscar. I can't throw all the planets
I don't want to talk about it, all right? I don't want to talk about Jupiter. I'm going to say the moon. I love nighttime. I'm a bit of a night owl, so yeah.
Sometimes the moon at nighttime you can see Jupiter. Just saying.
Can you?
Yeah, it looks like a star.
I used to be amazed when you could see the moon. Sometimes in the day you can see the moon. So
that froze me. Yeah, that froze me. That I don't like that. I look up.
When I saw that when I was like 7, I was like, "What's going on? This is
Did you make a YouTube video about it?
I should have. I think most of my music, my little YouTube videos were just me doing Michael Jackson covers and busting out a quick. One of them ones.
I'm even more gutted that you've made them private now.
I know.
That's a gold
one day I'll release them.
The documentary behind the music. It's just those videos from years ago.
No, it'll be like 20 years' time when he's really jaded. And they're like, "Look, Oscar, we need another album." And he's like, "Oh, I must have something lying around I could put on there." Oh, here we go.
Well, I was thinking how amazing it would be if I ever played, I don't know, like Glastonbury main stage. If I just came out to like just put that on, and that's my intro, just me covering Justin Bieber in 2007, and then walk out like, "Look how we got here, boys! Look how far we come! Look how far we come! We made it! Success!" Oh,
yeah, amazing!
It could be jokes.
Oh god, a clear winner for the moon. Do you remember when? Did you ever think that the moon was made of cheese? Because I had a brief spell of that.
Yeah, the Wallace and Gromit thing threw me off.
Yeah, to be fair,
it was
the famous
about
scientists...
3 weeks ago that we put you straight on that, Jamie, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was made of cheddar, like cheddar gorge. It's made of cheese, right? Surely, come on, play the game.
Must be.
Must be. We have no. I think we've got a couple more. Got a couple more left here, which we can work through. This one is a bit more insecty. We're talking spiders, cockroaches, or earwigs. Spiders, cockroaches,
I don't want any of them.
Sorry, mate. One of them's got to win an Oscar. You're hosting the Oscars. You've got to do this.
One of them's got to win. You're not a fan of bugs. You're not a bug guy.
I hate insects. I get really I just get that sort of feeling you sort of shudder and I just don't like just little crawly legs things. If I'm going to give it to any of them, I think probably spiders, but that's not. I can't even give them that. I don't really want to give them it.
The spider comes up on stage. You give it the award. You have to shake the spider's hand.
No.
You throw it out.
I don't want anything to do with it. Wait, is it true that earwigs? So are earwigs actually anything to do with your ear? Because I remember growing up, I used to think they sort of buried themselves in your ear and laid eggs in there.
I think that's a myth. I've heard it, but I'm like, surely not, because you never hear it happening, do you? Surely, if that was a thing,
well, no, you always hear it at school. You hear it at school, like like when you lean on the back of your chair. When you lean on the back of your chair and swing about a bit, and they're like, "Oh, don't do that," because there was a kid who the other day he went over backwards and It's like, that never happened because it just didn't.
But you believe
funny enough, my older brother actually did. He didn't die, but he did do that, and he smacked his head, split his head open.
Oh no! But now that feature is dying out on that forever now, aren't they?
Anytime someone does it, they banked that story.
You know Oscar Lang? You heard of him? Well, his brother, he split his head open.
The myth around
It can happen
school.
to anyone.
It can happen to anyone. Stay safe, one and all. Stay safe, one and all. So obviously spiders takes that one. I think we've got one more. Jake.
I don't like that sentence. I can't believe spiders took that one.
We really pushed you into bad territories here. We apologise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's bring it back, okay? To something less disgusting. Jamie's written this one. I'm not sure about the third option, but okay, fine. Burgers, hot dogs, or bread pudding.
Okay.
Not sure that last one's in the same category as the first two,
I probably would have put pizza or something in there.
Yeah,
that probably would have been a little more similar.
Well, no, a bread pudding it was within the family. It's kind of what I always pick between the three. But I have a burger, a hot dog, or bread pudding.
I'm going to give it to burgers. I think they're just classic. You can do them so many different ways.
Yeah, they're versatile, aren't they? That's what's good about a burger.
A hot dog's kind of versatile, but it always ends up something mustard on top. It's not that versatile. And a bread pudding, I don't really need to say anything more on the bread pudding.
I don't think I've ever even had bread pudding. I honestly don't know what that tastes like.
Bread pudding?
It's bread and custard.
Are you saying none of you had bread pudding?
I've had bread pudding, but
I didn't grow up in the 1960s, so
yeah. But it's it's a very versatile dish. I recommend. Betty Crocker.
Versatile.
Well, it takes the bread and puts it in the mix, and then you have a little bit of custard on your way. Hey,
that's not versatility.
Saying...
You've just. Oh no, I'm done. And I'm not letting you draw me on this. Burgers, the clear winner.
Burgers, a clear winner. We have one more. We have one more for you. Bit more music related. We also have our own views, I think, on this. Me and Jake. So the final Oscar is it's Paul McCartney, it's Ringo Starr, or it's Elton John. Who gets the Oscar out of the three? I know.
See, I thought you were going to name another Beatle there, and then I would have known.
Jamie
but
thinks
you threw in
Elton John's in the Beatles.
And that was unfair. Oh God. I think I'm going to give it to Paul, just because Elton, some of the songs he doesn't write all the lyrics, so I can't give him 100% creds for that. So Paul's going to have that one.
Paul
just seems like such a sweetheart.
Jake,
not having this. Not happy with this at all.
Jake's winner.
My views on Paul McCartney will not be made public at this time. But
what do you mean?
Ringo was robbed. Ringo was robbed. No one listens to this, so it's not public.
All you've done is given out. Not public. It's online. I was about to say it's on the line.
The question is, really, is it the real Paul?
Exactly. Like, you don't even know who you're giving it to. Whereas Ringo, you know it's Ringo. Go on, give Ringo an Oscar. He deserves it.
You know what? I'll give Ringo the Oscar just because he tries. He tries his best.
He does, and that's all we can ask for. Thank you. I'm glad to have influenced the Oscar.
Peace and love. An incredible impression. I think that about concludes the Oscars. We've covered a lot of bases there.
Wow.
There'll be a lot more. Well done, everyone. Well done. Great to be here. We're all going to go to the after party after this. In fact, unfortunately,
orange juice, showers, cats, spiders, Ringo Starr, and burgers will all be there.
That sounds like a night out and a half.
Jupiter at the window crying, not allowed in.
It's going to end with Oscar just in a fight with the spiders. But that's how it goes.
I don't want to talk about them anymore. I don't want to talk.
They're gone. In fact, so Oscar's going to go to the party now. I'm afraid the time has come that we must bid farewell. To Oscar,
my friends.
It's been a lovely one. We've had some fun, had some japes, talked about all sorts.
Thank you very much for having me on.
It's all right. It's all right. Your new EP. Look, we've got a plug. Hand over your head is out now. Listen in. It's a bunch of bops, bunch of bangers. And if we're saying that, you can put it on a poster. We don't take royalties.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe we will.
If the Crazy Carts are interested, I am open for a sponsorship.
We have opened that.
I'll take a Crazy Cart. Go on, chuck it
we'll
away.
Take them. We'll all take them. We'll all have that. We bid you farewell, Oscar. We're going to play Drinking Wine as you head on out the door. But cheers for stopping by. We'll catch you soon.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bonjour.
Bye.
We played the track that would have made sense for telling someone to get out before Oscar came on, and then we played that one. We've really fucked that up, Jamie.
Because that would have helped. Like, we don't like kicking people out of the place, but that would have helped because messed up on that one.
Well,
but Oscar
you live and you learn, don't you?
Care.
You live and you learn. No, and he did not. Which is always nice when an artist doesn't give a shit.
Every wrinkle is a memory.
Exactly. That's that's what I always say. That's why I can't stop saying it. People say to me, Jake, stop it. Stop saying every wrinkle is a memory, but I can't. I will not stop, and I never stop.
Sounds like a Coldplay song. Is it a Coldplay song? Someone will know.
I don't. Yeah,
he knows.
I don't know. Maybe
he knows over there. I see him.
Yes,
he knows.
Yes, it's a Coldplay song. Yes. Chris Martin just stuck his head in the window and told us.
Cheers, mate.
Chris.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks.
Oh, don't leave your shit. Okay, he's fine. We'll have a word with him later. Should we talk about some new music? That sounds like we should probably.
That sounds
probably
like
do
less
that, really.
nonsense than pretending Chris Martin's sticking his head in the window.
Falling apart. Let's talk about Bieber Doobie. Once again on this show,
the B movie.
The Bieber Doobie movie, 100%.
Nice.
And she's back with another new song, which is called Worth It. We obviously have talked about a bunch of her tracks, obviously, over the past few weeks. We think she's brilliant, she's great, and every single song is just a hit at the moment. Like, it's just flying, like proper gearing up for her debut album, Fake It Flowers, which is out in October. So not actually that long to go. Like I forget that it's September now.
Time marches horrifically quickly, doesn't it?
Yes, it slowly breaks you down before you pick yourself back up again.
I literally cannot believe it's October next month. I feel it makes me so tired, so weary. You know, I'm not the man I used to be. Every wrinkle is a memory, but every memory weighs me down.
Anyway, this song is Worth It by Bieber Doobie.
I think it was worth it. That was worth it.
It was worth it. That was worth it. She's absolutely brilliant, she. So, she's going to do wonders, you know. She's going to be a star. She's going to be a star, Jake.
She basically already is, and we're at this early point in the career. It's one of those, isn't it, where you're just like, you know, have some decency. There's bands who've been plugging away for 10 years that aren't nearly as good as you. But, hey, what are you going to do, eh? What are you going to do? The Rolling Stones, they've been going for centuries, and they're still not as good, are they?
They'd
never get a number one album with a reissue from 7,000 years ago.
Exactly. Play the game. Fucking dickheads.
Honestly. I've got another shiny new song for us.
Yes, lovely. It's new as well. It's not a reissue.
No, it's not a reissue, which is shit. Reissues are shit. You have that right. You know when you go, like, you're playing on Spotify, other platforms are available, and you put an album on from, like, the 70s, and it's, like, 2004 remastered version, and you're like, I don't give a shit. Honestly, it's on Spotify. I'm not listening to it, like, on some high-fidelity equipment.
Because it's different, of course, as well. You know, you're like,
exactly. I'd be listening to it going, this sounds a bit different to the one that, of course, it's the 2005 remastered version.
No. Not again.
Always happens, doesn't it? Always. Anyway, this track is MXM Toon. I don't actually know. Are you meant to?
Yes.
Is the X meant to be pronounced? Is it like churches, which isn't pronounced churches?
So it's Mtoon.
I think it's Mimtoon.
I thought it was. I thought it was MXN Toon, but that's a guess.
Muxum Toon. Anyway, they've released a new song, and you know they've looked around. They thought, who could I get to feature on it? And they've only bloody got Carly Rae Jepsen.
I mean, that's not a bad combination, is it? You've got MXM Toon, you've got Carly Rae Jepsen, like. Ideal. I think what's really good, you know, about MXM Toon is like, you know, she obviously, like, you know, there's a real, I don't know, you kind of like sit back and you relax when you listen to MXM Toon. It's a real lovely listen. And
I like this new track.
Jepsen. Oh
yeah, go for it. Sorry, I didn't realize you were still rambling, Jamie. Please carry on.
to be honest, the ramble had ended. But with this track, you were saying. So what's with this track?
What I like is that this is one of those features, like collaborations, where sometimes you listen and it's like, oh, they just got them to do a verse. Like, that's fine. This one really does feel like a collaborative track, doesn't it? It feels like the two of them have both been invested in it, and it's neither of them are phoned in. That's what is good about it. I think is the fact that it just gels together as a collaborative track, and I really, really enjoy it. I think it's really good, even better than I hoped from seeing those two artists working together. In fact, for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm okay on my own.
Can't be the one that makes you feel at home. I need some time to myself so I can comprehend. I'm not so scared to admit I could use a friend. I need some time to myself to gain some confidence.
You see what I did there? I said the name of the track, and then we played the track.
The track's isn't the track okay on your own though?
Yeah, but I mean, come on, like, it's not going to be perfect, is it? You got to slot it in.
Come on.
If I'm okay on my own, then everyone listening thinks that Jake's okay on his own, okay on your own, Jake. Like they think that's how it is. Honestly.
You nailed it. Well done.
It's like you don't even want to be around me.
I think you'll find I'm like a close moth to the light that is you, Jake. Keep shining. Keep shining. That's another one you can get tattooed if you'd like. You can also get a phrase, perfectly untrue. Imagine getting that as a tattoo. That'd be a lot. That'd be interesting. I'm not a tattoo guy either, so I'm whacking this out as if I'm.
You're just throwing the ideas out there, seeing who takes them up.
Steve-O. Do you know what I mean? Giving it like fucking tattoo here, tattoo there, like the geezer with his whole face a tattoo.
Yeah, that's a bit
much. Is that a tattoo anymore? That's just his face.
Yes.
God.
No, it's still a tattoo, Jamie.
It counts, doesn't it? It counts. But
it does.
Perfectly untrue. You could put that on, but that's the new one from Lucia and the Best Boys. They what's been really exciting, obviously, about them is over the past kind of like few months they've been slowly obviously releasing track after track, and each one is like another step up. Like we've been hearing a lot from them. Obviously, for quite a while now, they obviously changed their name. Well, they added the Best Boys at the end.
I'm still not entirely sure about that, but you know what? I'm not the vision guy, so happy for them to crack on.
Not the vision guy. This song, I don't know. This song's got almost like I'm listening to it. It's like there's almost a little bit of glam in there. There's like a real 80s kind of like feel and influence, and also just like incredible songwriting. Like it's bold. It's a bold track, and I think it just really sets them apart. I think they've got everything going for them to be a band that people just latch onto. And I think if they keep releasing tracks like this, it's gonna happen at some point. They've got no choice in that situation. But yeah, this is a great track.
Simply no agency. It must happen.
It simply must. That's the way it works. We speak it into existence. We did it last week with Shame, and now we will speak that into existence. But until then, have a listen. Yeah, this is Perfectly Untrue.
I ran to try and find you, but it was just a flicker of a candle. I'm all dressed up in gold, my heart is black and blue. I pretend I'm perfect, but it's perfectly untrue. I'll dance until I die, don't know what else to do. I pretend I'm perfect, but I'm perfectly untrue.
Great new band, doing great new things.
Truly, they are the best of boys.
New is the thing. They are the bestest of the best boys.
Yeah, exactly. Lucia and the Bestie Westie Boys?
Best Boys sound like, I don't know, it'd be a shop. Do you know what I mean? It'd be a shop somewhere. It'd be like, welcome to Best
somewhere
Boys,
dodgy you have to get your school trousers from, you know?
Yeah, you have to go to one place. We recommend going
we have
here.
to go to Best
like, why?
Boys, because they do the jumper with the crest on it, you know, or whatever, like the name that costs, I don't know.
They're the official supplier. Mental,
that was always
they?
weird, wasn't it? Odd stuff. Really odd stuff. Like, why do you need the name of your school on the uniform? Like, in case you get lost and someone has to return you.
Like, you're dragged kicking and screaming.
Like, they find you in a shop and they're like, oh, you go to this school. Well, I better drop you off there, you know. Or like a return address, like a postman will just ship you back to school.
We found this child wandering around, and we returned them in the same way that you return something from like ASOS. By the sounds of it, you just put it back in the bag, chuck it in. Yeah, that's one of yours again. Oh God! Yeah.
Chuck it over the fence and put a slip through the front door saying,
"Not you
sorry,
had it again.
Missed you."
Come collect your child.
Exactly.
This is why me and Jake are not parents yet, you know.
Whilst you're collecting your child, why don't you collect the wonderful new track by Dork cover stars Wallows.
Yay! Good old Wallows.
I think I've shoehorned that in.
No one noticed at all. No one noticed at all.
Perfect. This is all scripted, by the way, guys. We script it all, and then we just read. We're just reading a script at the moment. I've even put this bit into the script so that it doesn't seem like we're actually reading a script, but we are.
But we are, and that's the whole point. We're like, whoa, man! You know,
it's very meta.
We're a bit wacky like that.
We are a bit kooky, aren't we?
Oh, if you will. What's this new song? What's the new song saying?
Well, Jamie, I was actually about to say, you know, when you said we were wacky, and it made me think that just nobody gets me brackets like you, close brackets. Is what I thought. Which, funnily enough, is the name of the Wallows song. It's called "Nobody Gets Me" brackets like you, close brackets. Songs with brackets in, not, you know, it's not necessary, is it? Like, just pick a name. You can't have two names. That's what they've got there. They've got "Nobody Gets Me" and then they've got "Like You." Two names. Greedy.
You've been vocal about this as well before, about the bracket situation. I think brackets
I don't even
add
remember.
something different to a song.
I speak so much shite, I don't even remember saying that.
It's like,
I don't even really care about the brackets. I just thought, well, this will fill some time, won't it? I'll talk about brackets. We'll play the song. You know, everyone has fun. Everyone goes home with a prize.
We're really bigging up Wallows here. Jesus Christ!
It's just the name. Obviously, the song is that they've been on the cover of the magazine. They must be great. The song is great.
They are great.
And to wash away my bracket slander, let's play it now, and you can see.
Yes.
Well, hear how great it is. So this is Wallows with "Nobody Gets Me" brackets like you, close brackets.
So many people and people and people and people and people, and nobody gets me like you. So just keep pulling me, pulling me, pulling me, pulling me, pulling me, keep pulling me closer to you. 'Cause nobody gets me like you.
I tell you what, you can really feel the brackets. You can feel the brackets in the song. To be fair, I get it. I get it. Is all I'm saying. That's a new EP. It's coming up end of October,
which is nice. So, always good to have an EP knocking around, isn't it?
Why have just the one cocktail sausage when you can have the whole bag? And the whole bag will be on sale at the end of October.
EP stands for extraneous parentheses.
Fucking hell. He's arrived, everyone. The teacher at the door, checking everyone's entry.
Really happy with that one. That's really nice. This really made my day.
He's anyway, smug now.
It's time, Jamie, to move on to album brackets of the week, close brackets.
Close brackets. Yes, this week we are looking at the new one from Everything. It's called Reanimator. Is the name of the album.
It sure is.
It's the reanimation of Everything into another form in 2020. And
well, it's kind of the same form, isn't it? A band.
Yeah, they've not become like, I don't know, cast members in The Walking Dead. They haven't done that.
No, they haven't.
They've just knocked around a little bit, here, there, bonjour, ça va bien, merci. Is that fifth album?
Comme ça. Yes, it is. That. Let's get back to the album, and then I can tell you an anecdote about how once I had to provide their rider before a gig. Maybe I already mentioned this on the show, actually. It was basically just a roast chicken. That's the whole thing. Right, the album.
We'll talk about it more, but first, here's a track from it. This is Big Climb.
Just one thing. Not afraid that it'll kill us, yeah. We are afraid that it won't lead to another. Not afraid that it'll kill us, yeah. We are afraid that it won't. Not afraid that it'll kill us, yeah. Big climb, big fall. I saw us dying in the crystal.
Everything. That voice, it's a very recognisable voice, isn't it?
I think this is the thing, isn't it? It's like this album is quite different to a lot of other stuff they've done, but he's got such a inimitable voice that they kind of have the luxury of being able to do whatever they want, like musically, because they've got that as their stamp. That is like, it's
There's no one else,
isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly.
There's no one else. There's no one else that sounds like him. And everything are, if you sit and think about it, are quite I guess odd isn't the right word, but they are like an odd band in comparison with all these other bands. Like, this is a band who are playing, Alexandra Palace, headline shows there. They tour around the world. They tour relentlessly around the world. They play festivals. They play, decent slots at all these festivals, and they've been doing it now for years. And yet they kind of refuse to play like the rules of like just general what you need as an indie band. They seem to always be wanting to create something completely different. They always want to be melding all these different styles, and they also kind of it feels like they're just quite unique in their own lane. And so this is why when it gets to this album, like a fifth album, you just don't really know what to expect anymore with them, which is great. I actually think that's a plus for any band to literally not know what's going to come, but you just know that it's going to be different and interesting in a way. And this album does it. I think if you look back over their past couple of albums, they've kind of been, I don't want to say going for the big leagues, because I don't think that makes it sound like they're trying to write a Coldplay song. Chris Martin's still at the window, by the way. And
he is. I don't want any of the CDs. I don't care what the deal is, Chris. He's back again.
He's going to be knocking around the bins in a second.
They're bootlegs as well, they're not even the real CDs. He burns them at home. It's really sad.
What, his own band?
Really odd stuff.
Anyone?
I bought one once, terrible quality. Never again.
But this album feels like, the last two albums, they've kind of been a bit more, I guess, ambitious in terms of their sound. Like they've gone more anthemic than before, maybe, but the last two albums have been incredible, and this album feels like, I feel like they have created something which I think it's like a turning point for them. I feel like they off the back of their last album, they were playing like Alexandra Palace, right? And it's like, well, where do you go from there? Like, where do you?
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? Is, as you say, the last album pushed them up to that kind of Ali Pali level, and then this is the first album they've made almost with that in mind. It's like, we're here now, we've arrived. Like, we're making albums for this kind of venue now and for that kind of sound. And I think it's quite a good compromise they've had on still sounding like they always have, with being, it's a different album to the other ones. And as you say, it's more anthemic without sounding like they've gone, oh shit, better write a really big pop song, better write, something that fills a stadium or whatever. It's just, it kind of feels natural in a way that it definitely isn't, if that makes sense. They've definitely taken a step back and sort of thought about, we want to do something different, but it feels like that happens so smoothly that it is just the natural next step, which I don't think I would have expected from them before I listened to the album, but now I have.
No,
it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I think it's quite a thoughtful record. You know, it's quite you know, it feels very deliberate, which isn't a bad thing at all. I actually think that's.
You mean they deliberately recorded it? It wasn't an accident.
They deliberately press record, and they surprisingly have turned up with an album. Who'd have thought it? But it's like they were like, you know, measured, and I think I think it's just interesting that it's a record that I feel that you have to live with for a while. I think it's one of those sort of albums, and that isn't saying that it's, you know, bad. It's just saying I think it's a record that if you put the time into over more and more listens, you'll actually be like, okay, this is amazing. Like the sounds they're doing and everything's great.
Don't you? You sink into what they're trying to do, and it does click in a way that it maybe, if you've just got it on in the background or if you've heard one track off of it. I think that's true of the majority of it, but I think there is the one sort of turbo banger that they've whacked in at the end.
Which I think is it's an interest. It's interesting that they've put it as the last track. But yeah, I mean, Violent Sun is definitely it's a different kettle of fish to a lot of the other tracks on it, and I think it's just a banger, isn't it? Yeah,
it's just so big.
It literally, it's come at you, and you don't know what to do. You don't know where to look. You don't know where to put your hands, but it's there. It's in your face, and it's a really, really, really good track. So let's less of us yabbering. Let's have a listen. This is Violent Sun.
Skin on your fingers, and you can barely make a silhouette out. And you open your ventriloquist mouth, and the words are wrong but in the right order. And you know it has to happen tonight, and you feel it for the very first time. And she's saying you don't always have to be a lunatic or an error or a prisoner of your terror.
I think it's mad that is so different. Like you say, it is different to, I think, everything else on the album. I don't think there's any track that comes close to being similar to that. Which is like it's just interesting, isn't it? You know,
it's a weird one for me because the rest of the album seems to slot together so well. Like it almost feels like the rest of the album's the main course, like the roast dinner. each one's a different bit of the roast dinner, right? And then that one is just the dessert. You know, it's almost like, well, you wouldn't want the ice cream with the Yorkshire puddings, but it is nice to have it in the same general area, you know?
Just in case I want to just reach out and have a little bite.
I've just remembered why we don't normally record these directly before I eat dinner, Jamie.
Why? Because you just didn't talk about the food the whole time. Literally,
I think a lot of this reminds me of a roast dinner, or maybe some delicious fried chicken, or
food.
Sorry, what were we talking about?
Yeah. Sorry, I just turned the oven on. Fucking hell. Everything have cooked up a new one. It's Reanimator. It's out now. Have a listen. It's a band who, no matter what anyone could ever throw at them in terms of if you're going to critique them or whatever, truly are sounding unique and doing their own thing, and great live band as well. So not really useful right now, but
nice to know for future.
Just have a note. Yeah, but dive on in. Yeah, it's out now. Wonderful stuff.
Jamie,
just seen.
Here we go.
I think I'm going to sneeze first. I think this has caused.
Okay, well, get it all out, and then get ready for the big jingle. What was that? What was that?
That wasn't a sneeze. I kind of choked a little bit on my saliva. I think it's gone now. It's gone. Okay, don't worry. The sneeze is gone. I just had to exhale a little bit. Right. Okay. Give me a second. Tweet.
Honestly. Right. Wow. That was a lot. That was quite emotional, actually.
A tear actually did fall from my eye. Maybe I'm tired.
Well, maybe.
Less about me, more about the tweets.
Yeah, I guess we're just going to move on, haven't we? Just got to quickly move
Scamper over that. Oh, good hell. Tweets of the week. What's happened?
Right. I'll tell you what's happened.
Yeah.
Blocks. The wonderful Blocks. Friends of the magazine, I'd say. Good bands.
I'd say.
Had their album out recently, and they're
on the show. On the show a couple of weeks ago.
Of course, yes. I wasn't around, so I blocked it out of my memory. It's too painful. But they've tweeted, can I justify the new Tony Hawk game as a band expense? Wonder what our accountants would say about that. What do you reckon, Jamie? You reckon you could sneak it past? As the financial expert on the show, do you reckon they could sneak it past?
The money expert here. I guess you could technically class it as like band bonding, can't you? Like, if for example you're going on tour.
I think you've got the wrong tack there. I think the easiest way to sneak it past is because the soundtrack's such a big part of it, isn't it? So you could sneak it through as an expense because you're researching what kind of music you need to make to get on the soundtrack of the next one.
Yeah, and everyone's going to benefit out of that if they got on the next one. Because obviously, everyone get the benefit. That's interesting. I was just going to say, if you're like on the road and you need it, for the if you're in a bus or whatever, you're riding along. I don't know the mode of transport that Blocks use to travel. I presume spaceship.
I was going to say you went straight in for bus, and then it's either they have their own tour bus, which is quite unlikely at this stage, or they're all just like on the number 36, like Manchester to Liverpool. Hope the bus doesn't take too long, doesn't stop too many places.
Yeah, they're like, all this stuff. I guess we'll put it in the, I don't know, where the prams usually go. I guess that'll work. Like a little kid just like, oh, mate, you fucked me, yeah? He's absolutely done him. But yeah, I think, and I think you can. I don't see an issue for that.
I think you should. I think morally you should. You have a moral imperative to do that.
Yeah. It's actually by law. You must do it.
I wish I got expenses. Do you think we could push for expenses, Jamie? Maybe I think
we have had some expenses before, haven't we, Jake?
Well, yeah, but the lawsuits about your defamation don't count. And that guy we hired, the private investigator, to see whether Paul McCartney was a murderer, that didn't really go anywhere. The fact that we hired Chris Martin to look after our bins. I'll be frank with you. Oh, plus the amount of all those Valentine's cards I sent to Ringo, I had to pay for those in the end. We didn't actually expense them. I know that was the idea, but apparently it didn't.
So is this now like a call to be like, can I get some money for that, please? Or
I guess. I mean, like we said before, sponsorship deals. I'll sell my soul for like a tenner. Literally, it's the same here. Like, oh yeah, so like, say Budweiser got in touch and said, look, we'll give you like 4 beers if you spend 10 minutes talking about Budweiser. I'd do it.
So if anyone's listening, again, it can be anything. You pay him a tenner.
Anything that doesn't contravene international law. So, I'm not going to be talking about like sarin gas or anything like that. But most things, stuff.
That's your level. That's your. Hey, now I'm not doing anything on gas. Like,
Tony Hawk, if you're listening, send a copy of the game, and I'll just spend an hour talking about it. Easy, 2 hours, 3. Name your price, and I'll do it for you, Tony. We've nearly got the same surname, Tony. Come on.
Yeah, you're basically related. Maybe no. Yeah. Why not?
Did I tell you that Tony Hawk played? He's not a musician. He's a skateboarder.
He rode.
Yeah, he skated in the skate park in my hometown when it first opened. Impromptu,
Why?
Not sure why it happened. I don't know. They'd opened the skate park and he did some skating in the bowl. And I know this because it was on the local news. And I only connected it because me and my mum, I was probably about 14 at the time, maybe 13. We went to Tesco and drove past a big crowd of people at the skate park. And I was like, why is there a big crowd of people at the skate park? Went home. Oh, Tony Hawk was there. And I was on my way to Tesco to do the weekly shop with my mum.
But, you know, who won out of that? I'd say you.
Well, I don't think I did. I didn't even see him. You know what I mean? It's not even like I saw his head pop up as he went up.
You heard about him. You heard about him.
I guess.
Nearby.
I was within 30 foot of Tony Hawk, you know.
Oh, fucking, here he is. Fucking Jesus, rubble to the fucking glory here. Heavens above.
Exactly. But let's move on from my quasi-celebrity status. Have you got any tweets for us? And don't restrict yourself to musicians, Jamie. If you've got a good one that isn't music-related, just knock it out.
Actually, speaking of that, I do have this little fella in my pocket.
Oh, God, no, don't get that out. I mean, tweets, Jamie.
Censor it, blur it out. Oh no! But we're gonna just whack out a tweet. It's not gonna be anything else. Don't worry, everyone.
Yeah, please, just the tweet.
This is from Child Entertainers, Dick and Dom, famous, you know, obviously legends of the game. Been around for years. They've it's escalated. So they've made a crisp butty today.
It's escalated. I love it. I'm excited.
I've made a crisp butty today and accidentally made it with cheese and onion crisps. Pissed my day right up. That did. Bad mood all day. So they've had the The issue
What's your right? Before we get into it, quick one. What crisp would you put in a sandwich? What's your choice?
I find the idea of putting crisps into sandwiches as absolutely abhorrent.
Grow up. Just pick a flavour.
I come on, I'm not sticking that in a bread bun.
Pick a flavour.
Do you know what I mean? My favourite flavour of crisps is prawn cocktail, actually, because I am sophisticated. You know,
that's too strong. I find it doesn't work with the bread. The best choice is salt and vinegar, and you know that because chip butties are really good, and they've got salt and vinegar on them. So I win, and I'm correct.
I just wouldn't put it in the butty, to be honest with you.
Mate, you eat like hot dogs and noodles like 7 days a week. Like, get off your high horse.
And hey, culinary school, you know. My middle name is Oliver, so hey, you saw what happened to Jamie Oliver. Yeah, but it's like
Oliver Twist more than Jamie Oliver, isn't it?
That's age. Jamie Oliver just ended up losing all his money, didn't he?
I don't know. He's a class traitor anyway. Crisp butty. Made it with cheese and onion crisps, right? I agree that would be bad. What I don't agree with is Dick and Dom, who are children's entertainers, using the word pissed on our social media.
Pissed my day right up, that did.
Also, is that even a phrase? Like, this is pissed my day right up.
You pissed my day right up.
You pissed my day right up, mate.
Are they?
It sounds like you could sing it to, you know, The Feeling did that song, Fill My Little Heart Right Up.
Oh, hey, son,
yeah, like pissed my little day right up.
Right up. The parody that no one knew needed to happen.
The parody that only 3 people would understand.
And 2 of them are here, and the other one's in the band, probably.
Yeah, that's true. Not the best. So we're going to play a track by Dick and Dom?
Yeah, we've had a look, and it turns out I don't think we can find
pretty bereft, slim pickings.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. Let's play. Should we play The Feeling?
No, I don't know. I think that's a step too far. I think we should. Why not? Dust it off.
Yeah.
Stick it on.
Yeah, why not? This is The Feeling. What's the name of the song? I mean, sorry, you're already singing a professional.
Is it just like Fill My Little World? Fill My Little World. That's right. Fill My Little World.
There it is. Right. Okay. This is The Feeling with Fill My Little World. But just imagine those words changing about piss.
Hey, show some love. You ain't so tough. Come fill my little world right up. Someday you're going to realize to fill my little
huge song that nobody saw coming this week.
On the Feelings Wikipedia page, it says "Fill My Little World" was released as their debut album, but they've put an accent on the E, like you would for like cafe, which I don't think is correct.
Right. So what? Like, wait. What? So what's the accented?
So the E in debut has got an accent on it, which is not correct, is it?
Debut. No, I don't think so. I don't know. What are they doing? Maybe
in popular culture, in 2011, the song featured in adverts for furniture company Slide Robes.
I beg your pardon?
I don't know.
Slide Robes?
Yeah. Ugh. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I wouldn't go near that. Slide Robes. Hey, also, you got to make the money.
It's like a wardrobe that slides as opposed to a robe that you slide open.
Yeah. So it's like a kind of, I don't know, like summer house, when you need to go to the balcony.
Yeah, that kind of vibe. Yeah, exactly
that kind of vibe. Because that's where I hang out, obviously, famously, is summer houses.
Obviously, yes. As the richer of the two of us, you're the one with the summer house.
The richer of the two. I'm rich in character, low in personal belongings.
They don't tend to take that at the bank, do they?
I've tried. Right. They removed
Moving on from your desperate financial situation, I have a final tweet for us.
Yes.
It's from Will Joseph Cook, who has a new song out as well. So it really does line up admirably. He has tweeted, ate some edibles. That means drugs to anyone that isn't sure. Marijuana.
What?
Yes. So we don't condone that, obviously. He's put ate some edibles. Was not expecting Declan to add me to his live stream. It happened. I live. I learn. That's a nightmare situation, isn't it?
So a
live stream to thousands of people, and Will Joseph Cook sort of stumbling on, like, oh no, I'm not ready for this at all.
It's like when you, if you've obviously ever been at a nightclub, for example, and it gets to the end of the night, and the lights get turned on. It's like that, I can imagine, where he's in the dark, he's roaming around, he knows the situation, and then suddenly the lights are on. It's in his face. He doesn't know what to do. I can imagine that's the sort of reaction that he went through at the time. By edibles, are we talking? I mean, what kind of by edibles? Like for example, my hand is technically edible.
Yeah, I think that's what they normally do. They infuse their own hands with marijuana and eat them in a crazed frenzy for the drug.
That makes sense.
Don't do drugs, kids. You'll die.
Yeah, or you'll end up on an episode of Casualty, and you don't need that.
Or both. And that's a career death for any actor. I mean, if once you're on Casualty, you're out.
Or I was about to say once you're on Casualty, or what? Once you die on Casualty.
Yeah, either.
Both.
Either or both.
Thing is with soaps, like you would just move away, wouldn't you? Like EastEnders, as a good example. Like, every Christmas, someone dies in some way, in some wild manner. Someone's either murdered, or as a freak accident, or
they're stocking up the fireplace, and Santa comes down the chimney and crushes their head like an egg.
Yeah, that. There's I don't know. There's fucking train crashes and people.
Barry got pushed down the hill, didn't he?
Barry did get pushed down the hill, but if all this is going on, right, you'd move, wouldn't you? I'd move.
Oh yeah,
I'd be like, no, this is clearly
why
not
does
good,
anyone live in midsummer when there's so many murders there? I guess property prices would be lower, wouldn't they? I mean, neither of us can afford to buy our own house, so maybe if you were going to live in the world of EastEnders, and they were like, yeah, it's only like 20 quid for a house, you'd be like, fine, I'll be homeless, own a bar, get addicted to heroin, lose my daughter, set my house on fire, and then get rolled over by a tractor because the house was cheap.
That makes it worthwhile. That does actually make it worthwhile. So. Actually,
it's
maybe
free real estate.
An insight, and also you can be friends with, Ross Kemp.
Exactly.
He pops back every now and then, doesn't he?
He does.
Danny Dyer.
Yeah, exactly. You've got a real rogues gallery of friends, but I think it'd be worth it for the glamour of it. The smell of the grease
show
paint.
business.
I bet Danny Dyer smells nice. Sort of like sandalwood.
Sandalwood. I reckon. I don't know. I think he's got a little bit of the, like Ronseal about him. A little bit like, but he also could smell of like Heinz baked beans as well. He's a British classic, if you will. Mustard.
And that's about all we've got time for this week on the podcast.
No, what we will do is we will play Will Joseph Cook, whose new song is As Will Joseph Cook recovers from edibles. If anything, it makes it sound like we've been the ones having the edibles after that last conversation. But
yeah,
until
that was a lot.
Then, this is his latest song. It literally just came out, like today, yesterday, around those days. It's "Be Around Me."
I have an idea. Why don't we just stop the clocks when I take you home? Sweep you off of your tippy toes. TLDR, I just wanna let you know. I'll fall. Hey, how is your day? Mom was far, but I think about you all the time. Can't get you out of my brain. Come around, be around, come around, be around me. Hi, how is your night? Mine was whack, and I thought about you felt alright. Can't get you out of my mind. I'm around, be around, come around, be around me.
Wonderful, wonderful song. I'm looking forward to
nice one
that
to wash
next
away
album.
our baked beans chat. Yeah, that album is going to be very good.
Cleansed.
Also, we've sneakily actually done 5 tracks this week. We just slotted that last new music in as a tweet because we're the professionals.
Little cheeky one thrown in the mixer there. Yes.
I know I joked about us not having any time left to get you to stop talking about what Danny Dyer smelled like. But now, we actually have run out of time.
All right.
Have you got any predictions for next week?
God. Well, obviously we're in September now. And, autumn coming. The leaves begin to fall from the trees. But I don't have a prediction. No. Let me think. I'm having a think.
All right. Okay.
I reckon it's not without, outside the realms of possibilities that obviously Gorillaz put out a new track with Robert Smith from The Cure. I reckon Robert Smith from The Cure is going to take that idea and be like, do you know what? That's actually quite a good idea, isn't it? Just make cartoons do it. And The Cure will become actually an animated band of skunks. And they'll play around the world to children, young and old. They will cry, they will laugh, they will
what's
smile.
worrying is that a minute ago you were like, I don't have a prediction, and this is the first thing you thought of.
Hey, it came to mind. That's all I'm saying.
Of course, why wouldn't it? Yeah, why wouldn't it?
And what about yourself there? You got a prediction?
I think
can you see what's going
the Rolling Stones are going to reissue their reissue of Goat's Head Soup and get to number 1 again. And they're going to do that every week until they die, I guess. So probably about a fortnight.
Even then, they will rule forevermore.
They will.
Yeah. Maybe new music will never win.
On that somber note, the podcast comes to an end because we can't compete with the Rolling Stones podcast, which has much higher production values.
I'm going to go and steal some cheese from Ronnie Wood's house. That'll show.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that'll show.
Do you want some cheese? Do you want some cheese?
Yeah, I'll take some cheese.
All right.
Whilst we're off doing that, remember, a lot of people paint all of the walls in their house white or magnolia because it creates an illusion of space, but it can wash out a room if you use too much. So maybe consider having a feature wall of a light colour, but something a bit fruitier, a blue, a green. It can really change the feel of a living room. So I'll see you next week, guys.